Hello. Hello. Okay, it works.
Let's see, get this up here. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Oh, you're good. Don't have to run. Although I might need to be turned up just a little bit on the board. It's the green one at the very end. It'll say like hello, hello, hello. Okay, that's good. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Um, Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. This week we don't have a worship team because majority of them are busy or are sick or just need a break. So I told them don't worry about it this week. We're gonna make this a short little message this week and send you all on your way. All right. So if you are new here or new to watching it online, let me just give you a brief recap of what happened last week. Um, I was talking about this is a welcoming place for those of all backgrounds. We talked about how everyone has their own path that they take, and that sometimes you're maybe scared to take the path or that you're not sure where to go on your current journey. Maybe you just want to give up and stop trying. Um, or maybe you've fallen off your path and just don't know how to get back. So, over the next few weeks, I'm going to go over different situations that you may encounter along your path and give y'all some advice for that. So, this week, I'm going to start from the beginning and talk about starting your new path. Now, when I mean paths, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new job, it could be switching majors, it could even be switching schools. Path, in this sense, is a metaphor for a new milestone in your life. So, up to this point in our lives, we have each taken a path to get to where we are today. Some have taken many paths, others maybe not as much. Um, some of the paths we've taken have been pretty rough, and then other times we've had times of peace, so it was pretty smooth getting through that. For me, I didn't really start paying attention to my journey in life until I was like heading off to college. As I mentioned last week, I was the first in my family to go to college. wasn't sure what I got myself into. met some friends, forged my own path, and now I'm here today. So any successful path, there's going to be three key elements to focus on: faith, hope, and love. So our scripture this evening is 1 Corinthians 13. Now I know our computers had a little issues, so if you're watching online, I'm going to give you a second to get to it. We're going to try to play it for you, but it may be a few steps behind. So in 1 Corinthians 13, it says, "If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love." So the first element to your path is faith. Faith gives you direction. It's like a map. Every path you take will start out as something unknown to you. You might have a general idea, such as wanting to find a job or picking your major, but you won't know what that journey has in store for you. That's where faith comes in. If you read on the screen, we should have Hebrews 11 verse 1 for you, and it states, "Faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see." Read that again. Faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. Now, I don't need a show of hands, but how many of you hate it when things don't go exactly how you planned it? It sucks most of the time. Sometimes when we start something that we want and it doesn't work out, it's probably for the better. Anyways, sometimes when we start a new part in our lives, we start to feel unsure if it's what we wanted or if it's what we are meant to do. When we get to feeling like that, that's when we turn back to faith or trust in our choice to take on the journey. A personal example would be my weight loss journey right now. I started this journey because I was tired of being exhausted all the time and I hated how my clothes fit. But I do get to the point where sometimes it feels pointless because I don't see the results as fast as I want to see them. And, I feel like maybe I'm just spending too much time, wasting my time, and it's just not able to be justified spending all this time working on myself. But that's where faith comes in. Faith helps reassure you that it's worth it, and you should push on because it will turn out okay. The second element to your path is hope. Hope is the compass making sure we stay on track with our path and what our hearts tell us to be correct. You'll always hear phrases like, "Man, I hope I get this job," or "I hope I pass this test," or "I hope that they like me back." That's one way hope can be used in your life. That's not the overall purpose for hope. Hope is not only a compass, Because once you blend hope with faith, it's actually the fire that drives you to your goal. The phrases then start turning from I hope to I will. It's equivalent to saying God will provide because we have both faith and hope in him to do so. There is no hope without faith and no faith without hope. The final element to your path is love. Love is what keeps you grounded in anything you do. It's your foundation. It's like an anchor. Love comes in many forms. From my experience, love transcends what you'll see in media today. It transcends these marriages, these dating couples. Love comes from the team at your job. It comes from the social circle around you. It comes from the ministers at your church. It also comes from your family, whether it's family by blood or if you have that deep connection with your friends around you, that kind of family. When faith and hope disappear, love is all that remains. Love is also what helps you when your path falls apart. I'll talk about what to do when your path falls apart later on in the semester. Excuse me, I'm a little thirsty right now. Okay, so last week I had mentioned my journey going from high school to college and how it was scary and new to me and my family. So by the end of my freshman year, my dad had some very severe heart issues that needed to go up north to Minnesota to take care of at the Mayo Clinic. So that was the last time I had saw my dad, my mom, and my baby brother until I had graduated 3 years later. So my grandparents stepped in, did what they could, but also around the same time, my grandmother started having some dementia and Alzheimer's issues. So what they could help me with was very, very limited. So effectively, I was on my own come the end of freshman year going into sophomore year. I also experienced my first heartbreak as an adult. And throughout my sophomore year, I had felt like something was wrong. Something didn't piece together right. It felt like I couldn't focus at all, and I was always exhausted, even if I had slept well the night before. So because my college had deemed me first generational student, I had some resources I could use to go get tested mentally to go see what was going on. And the results came out to be that I had what's called major depressive disorder, which is also known as clinical depression, and then generalized anxiety. Because at the time I was broke, I never wanted to go buy the medicine that they said was going to fix it. But now that I'm older, I wish I took some of it because it was a lot easier to manage then than it is today. However, because I tested at my college, they let me go to therapy at a discounted rate. So I started going to therapy regularly to get my mind at least manageable to where I can take care of it. And I got paired with what was probably the best therapist I've ever had to date, because he would use video games and anime and superheroes and help me through past trauma and use those as examples of how to better myself and instill confidence in myself again. During that time, I had fallen off my path. Yes, that's right, I had fallen off my path, and it won't be the last time I do it either. The obstacles that I was facing at the time made me believe that it was hopeless to get through. I didn't have faith in myself to overcome it. That's where love comes in. That's why love is the greatest out of the three. Because of the circle I had created, they helped me find myself again slowly. It's a process to get yourself back together. It's not going to happen right away. It takes some time. So as they were showing love and affection towards me and helping me on my way, I slowly restored the hope and faith I once had. And this wasn't a love I could manufacture either. God had put these people in my life to keep me grounded and to help me find a way out of my mess. So my challenge for you this week is to examine the path you're on currently. See if faith, hope, and love is instilled in the path you're on right now. If it's not, and you need some help figuring out if it is or not, or if you just need a support system in general, you can come talk to me. I can give you my phone number or email. All you need to do is ask. All right, so that's all I have this week. If you would please bow with me. Dear God, thank you again that we are able to meet here tonight. Right now, I pray that you watch over everyone here in person and online and put it on their hearts to search themselves and to ask for help if they need it. I pray that all these students and those watching online as they're going along their paths, that you bless them and protect them through the turbulent times in their lives. I pray all this in your name. Amen. Alrighty, thank you all for listening. I'm going to go in the stream real quick and I'll come right back to get our game night set up.